Phil Orbanes, what can the game of Monopoly teach investors about profiting in the real estate world?
All the basics. First of all, location. There's a time and a place in the Monopoly game when each of the color groups can actually be the most powerful and the most devastating. Secondly, it teaches you the importance of developing your property to get the best return on investment. For example, in Monopoly, there's a huge increase in rent between 2 houses on any property and 3. So you're foolish if you underdevelop a monopoly after you acquire it. You want to get up to the sweet spot, which is at least 3. So location, timing, and also just a sense of what you need to do to prevent your opponents from developing great properties against you. So defense as well as offense.
What about the idea of overdeveloping? Because going back to the real estate crisis here in America, people were buying 1, 2, 3, and 4 houses, sending them deep into debt and then bankruptcy.
Yeah.
How do you avoid that in Monopoly and real life?
It still amazes me that that was going on when I look back on it. It makes my head spin. But in Monopoly, you have a credit well, if you will, a reservoir in the form of mortgaging power. If you use mortgaging power discreetly, you can take mortgage money to further invest in the group that's making you the best return. But if you blow through that and you have no power left to mortgage, the moment you get hit with the rent, it's just like the real bubble. You're wiped out. So Monopoly teaches you a sense of prudence. You have to balance between how much of your cash you actually invest, how much mortgaging power you keep in reserve, and you need to always have a sufficient amount of cash for those little annoying setbacks.
Just like real life.
Yeah.
Now, what is the perfect Monopoly portfolio?
If I could tell you what I would dream of owning, it would be the orange properties, the reds almost as much as the orange. This would be my second choice.
Not Boardwalk Park Place.
No, I can tell you why in a second. 2 or 3 railroads, and a couple of single properties that block the better groups from being formed against me. So I have diversification. I've got defense, I've got income, and I've got a delayed gratification investment, if you will, in the form of, say, developing the oranges to the 3-house level and hoping for those big returns. Why Boardwalk and Park Place are not the best? A couple of simple reasons. First, there's only 2 of them. Whereas the oranges, the reds, the yellows, they have 3. So the odds are already 50% better you're going to land on one of those groups. Secondly, location. The blues, Park Place and Boardwalk, lie after the corner that's marked go to jail. Whereas the oranges and the reds are the perfect distance from jail, according to the most likely dice rolls, to get landed on.
All right, and then finally, what's the best way to negotiate in a Monopoly game? Do you want to be hard-nosed? Do you want to be soft? Do you want to be affable? Because that's a lot of the game.
I like to put it this way. You don't mind negotiating with a player that you would not mind losing to. So if your opponent treats you with respect, he's reasonable, he's intelligent in the way he proposes his deals, you're much more likely to come to an accord with him or her than someone who bow-breats you, demeans you, tells you now or never. And in the real world, I think that skill that you can pick up in Monopoly can be invaluable in the way you sell and the way you negotiate with human beings, no matter what the transaction is about.